Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. I am still incredibly stuffy and I actually took yesterday off. I was going to do all of my voiceovers yesterday, but I could barely breathe. And then today I just still don't sound any better, but we are running out of time to catch up. And I have the time now, so we're going to power through and hopefully my nasally stuffy voice isn't coming across too much. But yeah, this week I'm planning from October 10th to the 16th, and I'm using this kit called House of Haunt from Planet Fancy. This, I think, is the first time I'm using a Planet Fancy kit on my channel, but I have used one in the past, and it actually ended up being one of my favorite spreads in my 2021 planner. I filmed that video, did the voiceover, saved it, but I accidentally deleted it and I was really sad. But anyway, we're using one now. And I did pull in some glitter headers. I'm just so bad at double checking that kits come with glitter headers now that I need them. But fortunately I had these Sticky Essentials glitter headers and I think the colors worked pretty well. This orange is an exact match and the black is a black, so it's fine. And then this taupey brown color isn't an exact match, but I felt like this color was in the artwork enough, and it's sort of a combination of this tan and gray that is in the color scheme of this kit, so I'm happy with that. I really like how this spread came out. The one thing I will say about these kits to keep in mind is if you're like me and you like labeling and putting down every single tiny little thing you did that day, so you need a lot of little things. This kit doesn't really come with little things. It comes with some labels that are sort of just like additional appointment label size, but I just cut them down to size and that worked totally fine for me. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this ended up coming out. And I love this little dog. This little ghost dog is what sold me on this kit. I actually went to her website to purchase, I can't remember what it's called, something like Sweater Weather. There's this kit with this little kitten, and it's like a really cute fall kit. But then when I was on the site, I saw this and just, that ghost dog, I can't get enough of it. It's so cute. But anyway, the only other thing I guess it's not even worth mentioning, is I left a full box off of Monday, and I also decided to use the date covers this week. These kits come with very, very mini deco, so I thought I had the space for them, and I really liked the font and that they were just like simple black. I am running out of date dots though, because I've been using date covers way more than I normally do. So yeah, I'm starting to get limited with my date dots. But anyway, I'm gonna move on, starting with my day by day, starting with Monday. The first thing I marked with a little sleepy tear out was that I slept in. Then with this squared off box and this whatever munchkin, I marked that I was feeling really depressed, and it was that type of depression where like I don't care about a thing. I'm not going to do anything productive. Like I just don't care. At least that's how I was this morning. And then these two items are flipped or swapped just because I really wanted to use this Paper Shire desk. It's not really a flat lay, but like it is. I really wanted to use it and it didn't fit up top. So technically the next thing I did was I finally sucked it up and did some job searching. And then after that, we went out to the Nissan, if you know, you know, to attempt to remove the old plates, because I did get the car registered and it is not legal to be driving around with your old plates, especially when you have the new plates. So I marked that with a quarter box and a sweaty emoji and then a screwdriver from my friend Ilza from Ilza's Melted Plans. She sent me these. And it took us 45 minutes to get the license plates off. They were so rusted on. My boyfriend used so much liquid wrench, and then something insane happened. One of the screws, I'm going to try to keep this brief because I don't even know if I can explain it correctly, but one of the screws on the back license plate was so like welded and rusted onto the car that the screw didn't start spinning, but the actual piece of car started spinning, And it's not supposed to do that. If I can explain this correctly, the hole where the screw goes into is a separate piece that is like hammered into your vehicle, and it is in the shape of a square. So it's not supposed to turn. But we, not really me, Joe tried so hard to get this screw out that the square piece was spinning. I don't know how, but that's how stuck this screw was. So the only way we were able to get it out was first we had to pull the license plate off of the car, and then we had to open up the trunk. And inside the trunk lid, there's like a fabric cover. We had to take the fabric cover off, put a long pair of needle nose pliers through one of the holes in the metal trunk lid, hold this piece that's not supposed to be spinning in place, and then twist the screw out. I don't know if you followed that, but it was hell. And obviously this isn't like a huge expensive issue with the car, but it was just like the cherry on top, just all of the things that were going wrong with this vehicle, and we couldn't even get the license plates off. By the time we were done, the sun had set. Like, yeah, it just a mess. But we did finally get them off. Then under that, with a squared label and these Munchkins shopping, I marked that we went back to one of the Ollie's locations in order to buy a carpet. The first time we just went looking, but Joe didn't like commit to anything. So this day we went back and he actually bought some carpet. Under that, with a square, just a square label, and this little burger and fries plate is from a Carly Plans freebie. I marked that we got Ruby Tuesday. With a fancy label and these olives sitting on a couch, I marked that we watched Dahmer. Then moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked with a little strip that I cut and an existential crisis emoji was that I woke up feeling sad again. With an appointment label and this summertime emoji, I marked that the weather was perfect. It wasn't like beach perfect, but it was just so nice out, not cold. It was lovely. Then with another half box and, what do you call this? A Munchkin from Once More with Love, I marked that I finished listening to The Golden Couple. Loved this book. Loved. I need another one like this. With this arrow label and a camera piece of deco from an older kit, I marked that I filmed. And then with an appointment label and a house icon, I marked that our landlord came, which I really didn't want him to come while I was filming because I thought it would be awkward. Like if you saw in my room, like my whole setup, I just thought I'd look like an insane person. But he came to try to fix the smoke alarm in my roommate's bedroom, and it took much longer than expected because he was like struggling. So that was kind of annoying, but whatever. Then with a box that I cut down and a Halloween TV from Once More with Love, I marked that I watched the movie Splice, and it was very weird. I definitely didn't like it. I hated the husband in the movie. There's also like a scene with a cat that I really hated. Just a waste of brain cells. Don't watch it. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with a half box and a Lazy Day sticker from the GP studio was that I had my Red Bull and relaxed. Like, I have a Red Bull every single day, but sometimes I consciously make the decision to grab my Red Bull and like enjoy some videos and just to like not do anything. So that's what I did this day. With a quarter box and a car from Once More with Love, I marked that I dedicated some time to deep cleaning the Nissan. It did get detailed, but there's still so much crud and stuff. So I spent a decent chunk of time working on that with a little strip of a label and a Target symbol from Carly Plans. I marked that I walked to Target. With a fancy label and this Dr. Munchkin, I marked that I scheduled my flu shot and COVID booster. Then with another strip and an emoji on the phone, I marked that Joe called me because he was helping me figure out why I couldn't make my appointment at my preferred CVS location, and we figured it out. It wasn't giving me the option to switch vaccine types, but we were able to finally get it so that I could swap from Pfizer to Moderna and go to that location because they did not offer Pfizer, and that was like the whole issue. Then with a little square label and this stick with the plan co. Girl, I marked that I watched The Deep House. Then moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked that was that it rained, and I used a little Stella Bow Sticker Co. umbrella to mark that. With another one of these arrow labels and a late emoji, I marked that I woke up much later than I wanted. With a half box and this pumpkin paper Coterra on a scale, I marked that I met my, sorry, I should have said like trigger warning. If you don't want to hear about weight, skip ahead or close out. But I met my weight goal. I don't really know how. I think maybe my body has just been like regulating or something because I haven't been like really trying. But when I hit 30, I just slowly started gaining weight, and I've officially like pretty much lost it all. Yeah, I don't know. The body is strange, but it still made me happy because when I was gaining weight, it wasn't muscle because I wasn't working out. Like it was just like, fat. With a little strip and this crying munchkin, I marked that I cried. Not about my weight, just like about life. With a square and this zombie emoji, I marked that I was job hunting and just that the rejection hurts. Like I know, Rosie Plans was talking about this while she was searching for a job before she found her current one, that you just get so many rejection emails. And I was getting rejected from jobs I didn't even want that I was more than qualified for. Like I have so much customer service experience, unfortunately. I hate customer service. And I have experience working from home, but I could not even get an interview for any online remote customer service positions. Like it was just impossible. I just kept getting rejected and like I didn't even want it. But yeah, so it was just very disheartening. With a little strip and these Carly Plan weights, I marked that I worked out. With a quarter box and a big phone icon, I marked that I called my grandma. And then that was it for Thursday. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked with an appointment label and this resume emoji was that I worked on updating my resume this day, just again, like trying to tweak whatever I could. Then with a half box and this book flat lay from Papershire, I marked that I planned. With a fancy label and this French fry potato emoji, I marked that Joe made us potatoes. With a little strip and a Nike sneaker from Paper Co., I marked that we went on a walk, and we walked to Kiwi frozen yogurt because they were having fill your cup for $5 this day. So I marked that with an appointment label and a Once More With Love frozen yogurt sticker. And then the final thing on Friday with a fancy label and this popcorn left over from a kit. I marked that we tried watching Do Revenge, and I don't know if I'm just like not, I'm not Gen Z, so like I didn't get it, but I thought it was really silly. Like I did like the double twist, but other than that, I was just like, this is so lost on me. This is like the dumbest movie ever. I'm just gonna go watch Bring It On. Like that's more my teen movie moment. I thought it was silly. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with this TV from Creating & Co. I marked that we watched Dahmer with a fancy label and a munchkin looking at their phone in bed. I marked that I just scrolled TikTok for way too long. I go through phases with TikTok where like have a healthy relationship with it, or it's like all I want to do all day, especially when I'm like depressed and avoiding my life problems. Like it's the worst. I just wish it had never been invented because it's too easy to spend hours doing. Moving on, with an appointment label and a pumpkin paper Coterra eating a burger, I marked that we went to Red Robin. And then with a fancy label and this Papershire Halloween deco, I marked that my roommate and I walked around looking at Halloween decorations. We did not do that in Philadelphia. We did that in, I'm blanking on the name of the town, but it's in South Jersey. It's really, really cute, very rich for sure. Like the houses are massive, and we were in that town because Joe was playing a show with a friend's band that night. And to be completely honest, we had absolutely no interest in even being in the room while the other bands were playing. Like we were strictly there to support Joe, but like would rather have been anywhere else during the other bands. And it was a little chilly, but it was warm enough for us to go on a walk, and we felt safe enough in this like bougie ass neighborhood. So the two of us went around and just looked at all of the huge Victorian houses, and like all of their Halloween decorations were awesome. Some of them were really, really creative, and it was just the exact like wholesome activity I needed. And then the final thing on Saturday, with a half box and a Stella Bow Sticker Co. guitar, I marked that we watched the band play. And yeah, they were last, so we had a lot of time to kill. We actually went to Red Robin during the first band, and then we looked at decorations for like the second and third, and then I think they were like the fourth. But yeah. Moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked with an appointment label on this Fight Me Munchkin was that I was PMSing real bad, so I was just not having any of it. With the fancy label and this buy tickets Munchkin, I marked that we bought last-minute tickets yet again for another show. Hoobastank, Alien Ant Farm, and Lit were all playing. But the tickets were like way too expensive, especially with fees for what it was, you know, and we would like have to drive an hour to get there. So we decided to like, if we can find StubHub tickets, we'll go. And if we can't, we won't. And we ended up finding tickets that were essentially like half price of what they were going for on Ticketmaster. And we did it last minute. With a little appointment label and a Nike sneaker, I marked that we went for a walk. Then with a quarter box and this emoji holding a pizza box, I marked that we got pizza. We got to the venue, which was a really cool venue. Oh my God, I got like the coolest picture. It was so like futuristic, dystopian. I can't remember what they're called. It's in this one town in Pennsylvania. These crazy giant like, I don't know, it looks like a nuclear power plant, but then it's all lit up like purple. It's really cool. And the venue is right across that. And then the venue also has these huge floor-to-ceiling windows looking out at this crazy factory. Like you feel like you're in, I don't know, like Blade Runner or something. It's so cool. But we went and we wanted to see Alien Ant Farm, so we went to listen to Alien Ant Farm. Then Lit was going to play next, so we ran out, got pizza, ate that, and then just came back for the last two Lit songs, which were the only ones we knew anyway. And then Hoobastank closed the show, and they were amazing. His voice is just as beautiful as it is on the record. It was just such a good time, and because there were a lot of young people there, actually, like 18, 20-year-olds were there. But since the audience was so much older and it was also a Sunday night, there was just so much room to breathe. And we got right up to the front of the stage. It was so cool. The only bummer, but I also have to just like check myself and not be a bitch, was that, and this is going to sound so bad, but seriously, I'm not mad about it. But Joe let this guy and his blind sister in front of him. And so she was standing next to me. And since she was blind, she kept hitting me. She was very apologetic, but like I was almost getting like smacked in the face every 5 seconds just for Hoobastank. But I get it. It's like he was doing a nice thing. But like my concert, I'm just being selfish because my concert experience was next to perfect. And then that like ruined the perfection. But I can't be selfish because like, you know, she was having the time of her life and, you know, she's blind. So like, get over myself. But all in all, it was an amazing show. After that, with a square box and this pumpkin paper Kotera wearing a little outfit, I marked that Joe swapped t-shirts with the drummer of Alien Ant Farm. First we met the singer, and the singer wanted his shirt, but was like, oh no, that won't fit me, because Joe is very, very skinny, like very skinny. But then the drummer was like, I could squeeze into that. So he traded Joe a free Alien Ant Farm t-shirt for the shirt he came with. And it was really funny that they both asked for his shirt. And then the merch guy gave me a free shirt too. I didn't have to trade. I just got a free shirt. So that was pretty funny. And then, yeah, so I marked that I also got a free t-shirt, which just made me feel cool, just with a happy Munchkin head. On my sidebar, the first thing I marked was that Joe played a show. He hadn't played a show in like 100 years. I think maybe it was the first show he's played since COVID. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been a really long time. So marked that with a little Stella Bow Sticker Co. guitar. And then I marked the concert on Sunday, and I just used a little music note Munchkin to mark that. So yeah, that's everything for this week. Definitely, it was a busier weekend, but also with like more normal activities, like we didn't have to go to New York. We didn't have to go to a wedding. We, stayed pretty local. We stayed very local on Saturday, even though the show was in Jersey. It was only 20 minutes away over the bridge. And then on Sunday, we just went to a concert and then went home. So it was a good weekend, and I was actually dreading it. It's one of those things where like I was so tired and depressed all week that I didn't want to go out, but I'm glad I did. And that's like the hardest thing about being depressed is you never know if you need to stay home and just like really take care of yourself and be in sweatpants and like watch movies, or if you need to go out and like shake it up. You never know. But I guess that's what I needed this week. But yeah. So sorry for my voice or sniffles or whatever you heard. I do apologize. But if you made it all the way through listening to that, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.